What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Conquest Racing Club review. Today we're going to look at something special. Now, normally I buy cars that I know. Unfortunately, this car I knew very little or nothing at all about. And that's because it is a Carrera limited edition. And I don't have any other limited edition. Plus, it looks very old. And it's about aliens. What am I talking about? We're looking at this Panoz Roadster LMP07. This is supposedly a limited edition car. It's the first limited edition I've ever bought from Carrera. And honestly, when I first saw the car, I wasn't too sure, but you know, it's limited edition, it says limited edition, so I decided to pick it up. And now that I've started to study it a little bit more, I'm really kind of bemused by it. So without further ado, let's just take a look at this car in detail, and then we'll put it on the track and see what it does. Let's get to it. Is an older Carrera box. So if I was to take another Carrera box and put this box on top of it, so we have this new Carrera Ferrari 512, you'll notice that this box is smaller. So it's a smaller box, so I don't have any more covers for it. This cover itself is a little bit damaged. It has a lot of stickers on it, so that's a disappointment, but nothing that is too scarred. So what do we have? Well, when I got it, obviously this is a used car or secondhand or slightly used. So the side tabs were already open. Actually, no, they're not. There's a little tape here. So we'll get this open here. Right. So take off the top and we get to look at this crazy cool livery. So this is a Panoz Roadster LMP07. It is a Xenomotion design, and something fell out the back here. I believe these are the basic instructions. It's cool that it has the original braids on it, so pretty cool about that. This is a model 26 or 2961, as you can see here. So, pretty cool car, really cool livery. Let's get it off the box, off the bottom, and take a look at it. So we're back. It was a little bit tricky. Those wires were wrapped around the axles on the front and the rear, so took a little bit of time to get it loose. However, this is the car, and as you can see, it's got this aliens kind of livery on it, or some sort of carapace on it that denotes some aliens kind of being. I don't think this is an aliens car per se, because it looks mechanical from the side here. And if anyone knows what Xenomotion is, or you know, let me know. I don't know much about it, but let's start at the front here. Let's see. Open. Yeah, let's make it a little brighter there. Okay, let's start at the front of the car. So you can see we have these teeth-like structures. So it's really smart the way the front intake here is actually forming this alien's nose. And we got the number 7 on the side there. We got some carapace structures there. And then you go up into the front hood. Now this Panoz LMP Roadster was a front engine car. So it was a V8 that was put in front. So it was one of the very few LMP cars that actually is a front mounted engine. So very rare in that regard. And you know, as we look at the side here, so there's high gloss, obviously, so it's very shiny. It's got this brownish finish. It's got these tan lines, white little stripe accents on it. Really eye-catching and different. So really cool to see. You get the standard Carrera wheels here. Nothing fancy compared to the wheels that we get today on the newer cars. And then we go up into the driver, and the driver is in this cool like alien green jumpsuit with an alien green helmet, and he looks really cool in there, as it were. Now there's some writing on top of the helmet. I can't see it properly, and I don't think the camera can, but probably I think it says Xeno. So pretty cool. You get the Panoz logo right there. You get a fire extinguisher on the passenger side of this hull, and this hull and Panoz created was actually made fully out of carbon fiber. So, and I believe this car was from 1999, so pretty advanced for its time. As you sweep back, you get the nice rear spoiler with the word Panoz right on it. On the side here, we get some writing. It's Le Mans. So this car did run in Le Mans. And then you get to see the carapace down the side. Some more details here. The number 7 on the driver's side there. As you sweep around to the rear, it's a very simple rear. You get the 2 tail lights and some type of rear diffuser with an exhaust system on it. Right. As you sweep around to the passenger side, or what would be the passenger side, you get to see the reflective livery from the driver's side on this side, and everything looks pretty standard. But my favorite part of this car is obviously the front end. I love the 2 nostrils here that denote air intakes. You get the air intakes on either side of the mouth. And I love the tow hook that comes straight out of the middle here. Almost looks like a tongue or some sort of, it looks like a tongue actually. When I first saw it, I thought it was a tongue, but that would mean it was coming out straight from behind the teeth. But you never know. It's an alien. Who knows what it's made of? So that's the livery. I think it's pretty gorgeous. But now here comes the interesting part. So I've noticed that this is an inline motor, but it's front mounted. So you get to see this huge magnet here. Now, like I said, I bought this secondhand. So there's a switch here, I guess, for polarity. And we get this guide system. But let's open up the chassis and take a look inside. All right, open up the 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to lift this chassis off, hopefully without damaging anything. Yeah, so taking it off the chassis, there was these 2 elements that were stuck down into the ribbing here. So it's pretty tight fit, really nicely done. Seems to have a lot of mounting holes, but these 2 little pegs here on the rear, so yeah, these 2 little pegs here go into these 2 supports, and you can see the inside is pretty rough compared to some of the newer chassis that we get today, but you know, pretty interesting. And let's take a look at the chassis itself. So once again, like I said, it's a front-mounted engine, so very copying the front mount of the actual car itself. And a pretty simple chassis. All the way back, we get the drive shaft that goes into the rear drive, or the crown and pinion gear would be in there. Now, I'm not too sure what the crown and pinion gear is, and to access it, you'd have to open up this and release it. These are floating wheels, No, actually, sorry. These are straight wheels with an axle here. So pretty cool. I don't think you have, it's just seated through the little bushings here, and then there are plastic bushings in this vehicle. All in all, pretty clean, very simple design once again, but unique in that it is a front wheel, front mounted motor, still inline, so the weight distribution is to the front. So this car should be very interesting on the track, and I can't wait to put it down. Now it is an old car, but the rubber seems pretty fresh, so we'll give it a little bit of a clean. We'll put some lubrication, make sure everything is nice and lubed up properly, so that we don't stress anything when we put it to the track. Has a little bit of weight here, I think. There's weight here. So I think you can slide this back and forth to shift the balance of this car. There seems to be a magnet. I don't know if it is. Yep, there's a magnet here. And then underneath it, there's a weight. Or it's another magnet. Looks like a magnet. But anyway, pretty interesting. I don't want to mess around with it too much. I don't know too much about this car, like I said. But it was interesting to get it. And I was interested to sharing it with you guys. And now we'll go put it on the track and see what it does. Hey guys, welcome back from trackside. We just finished running the Panoz LMP car, Xenomotion, on the track. A couple of issues with this car. First off, there's a little bit of a gear mesh issue, so I had to strip it down. I greased it, oiled it, scuffed the tires a bit. Still didn't run very great. So it is a second-hand car. It's a little bit older. So there could have been a lot of issues there. So as expected, and I did expect this, we didn't have the best of runs on the track, but that's not the point of this car. But let's take a look at the results first, and we'll come back to talking about my final thoughts. So taking a look at the results, when we look at this car, it did a 7.330 on DTT, which is not so bad, considering it's it's a legacy car, and it fares very, very poorly on the actual rankings. So if you look at it, it's probably on the last page right now, and it's only it only beats the Capri Zac Speed, which this car right now has issues. So I knew that the Panoz is actually pretty slow, right? But let's look at the overall dimensions. It's got a 96 grams car. It's the overall length is 146 millimeters, 34 millimeters in height, 64 millimeters in width, and it's got an 83 millimeter wheelbase, which is about standard. Do I think this car has potential? Definitely, and that's something that we can discuss now as we wrap up the vehicle. So let me give you my final thoughts. I'm really glad I got this car. The paint work on it is phenomenal. It looks amazing. It's very different. I love the front end, the nostrils, the teeth. The driver himself is a great character. So the car has a lot of character, has a lot of scope. It is a limited edition Carrera, so if you're a Carrera collector, I believe that is something that you'd want for your collection. If you're a car collector in general, it's something that you want for your collection. If you're a racer, I don't know if this is something you pick up, because if I was to pick it up, I think there's better options, especially for the price point that I paid. There's definitely NSRs and Revo slots and cars that probably will do much better on the track in terms of racing and performance. But if you want something that looks cool, stands out, something that's a bit unique, definitely pick it up. But those are my final thoughts on the vehicle. Glad to have it in my collection. If I was a racer, might pass it by. But that brings us to what's coming up next. I have a couple of new Carrera cars coming up now. The other thing that I want to talk about is, thanks to Marty and a couple of the other stock car influencers, such as Area 51 Raceway, who we now do a live stream every Monday. I got to 500 subscribers, and I wanted to thank you all for subscribing. I hope you subscribe because my content gives you some value, and that's really what I want my subscribers to get. So I really love the comments that you guys leave. I like, and it really helps me, motivates me to create more content. That being said, we are going to do a giveaway. And the giveaway for the 500 subscribers is going to be Porsche 918 Martini Livery Edition. So this is my open box, and I do have one that is completely sealed. So this is the car that I will be giving away. Details are to follow. So if you are interested in that, but like and subscribe. So it is going out only to subscribers. But once again, please only subscribe if my content gives you value. Don't subscribe because, hey, you want to get a free vehicle. You could do that, but that's not really why this giveaway is there. This giveaway is there to say thank you to the subscribers that, have really engaged with me. And there will be some rules as to how I'm going to do this giveaway. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys are having fun on rails. I'll be back with a couple more cars. Some really cool new Carrera releases have just come out, which I'm really excited to bring to you. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And remember to have fun on rails, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.